Heyo,
Hey, good morning.
I'm going through a phase where everything that's being asked of my son is met with a no, and then followed up with a phrase "I want." And it's kind of like, I get it. I'm quite clear on what you want.
Oh,
How
his
is it that
answer is no.
huh?
His answer is no to everything he's asked.
Yeah, everything you ask him to do is like no,
Oh,
and then it's like no, I want. It's like you missed the point. I also want something.
yeah.
So it's not landing. It's not quite landing yet.
We joke
Oh.
in our family with my kids that mommy's default answer is no. Like when you ask her if they ask her for something, like they haven't even finished the sentence yet, and her answer is already nope.
Why?
It's like
That's called wisdom.
yeah, it's like classic sales training, right? You have to ask whatever it is get three no's out of the way before you ask for a yes.
Okay. Well, how goes it?
It's good. I had a pretty good day yesterday. I had an interview with one of our beta testers for the Clarity app.
What was the feedback?
Very positive, which is interesting because her level of enthusiasm and excitement for the app and whatnot is disproportionate to her amount of use of the app. So again, I'm kind of being cautious around that.
Okay. Yeah.
But like long story short, we talked, she was asking like, where's this going to go? And what are the next steps for you with this and stuff? And she ended saying like, oh yeah, like if this becomes something, I'm definitely in, I'll buy it for sure.
And this is the said, oh, by the way, here's the link.
Yeah. So that was good.
Let's do this transaction while we're still on the call.
Yeah. She had some good ideas. Like one thing again, like she didn't know that on the quotes that you could click on them and go deeper.
Mm-hmm.
She was using it on her phone, which was good, but she didn't realize she could also use it on her computer, which isn't a surprise because I don't think that was in the video I made. But again, you know how some apps have like reminders, like the first time you go into a feature, there's like little cloud windows that describe what it does, and then you can say, "Don't show me this again."
Yep.
Like some kind of wizard thing like that would probably be good for the app to train people on what it does. Also, what I'm finding too is like people are not as creative as I am, I suppose, which sounds a little arrogant, but it's in terms of their capacity to take something and figure out how to integrate it into what they're doing. It doesn't just happen for them. Like they have to be like, I was thinking yesterday of you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Yes.
But it's like, but you could teach him how to drink or explain to him that this is water. This is for drinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a gap there between what they intuitively perceive this to be used for and how it could use it versus all the optional ways of how they could use it. Like people are not very inventive, or as inventive as I had hoped, I guess, in terms of how they could use this thing. So when I talked to them and said, well, have you ever thought about using it this way? And they're like, oh, no, I didn't. That sounds like a good idea. Or, things like that. So there's an element of that I'm not sure yet what that means or how you tap into that. But
that's very interesting. And
she had a lot of ideas about like a free version and upgrade version and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, it got me kind of reset back to being excited about the possibility of it.
When are you touching base with Jamie on this?
There's nothing set yet. Okay. I mean, the last communication I had with him was that I was moving ahead with a beta test, and his caution to me that this will move slowly.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's like I'd intended to be done all the feedback this week with the intention of recapping it and then trying to book something with him, like communicate with him next week for booking something the following week.
Okay.
But I extended the feedback window another week to try and get more people in.
Mm-hmm.
But if, quite frankly, if nobody else responds by the end of this week, then I'm just going to consider it closed. And then I'll be back on my original timeline, which is to put a presentation and whatever together next week, and request another call with Jamie the following week. So whatever his schedule dictates, we'll determine when that happens. And in the meantime, I want to investigate some things in Glide. Like one of the ideas she had too was on if you could include comments, which I know Glide can handle. Because she said it would be helpful, like if people could comment on different things in the app and say like how they used it or what it meant to them or what their insight was from that particular segment.
And visible to everyone?
Visible to everyone. So then people could also see, because there's an element of value add. You get a certain amount of value from what Jamie says, but then there's also value in how that is resonating with other people. And if they can share that in there. And she said like maybe that's a part of a paid feature or something. Anyway, I haven't really thought through how that would look or what that would mean. I mean, if you're going to open it up like that, then there's a whole admin level too, because you got to moderate.
Well, yeah, you have to moderate, and also there's a challenge of not making somebody else's comments non-editable.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how the comment feature works.
But it's surprising that she said that, because your idea with like I thought, or sorry, I may be mixing this up, but you did have a partner Facebook group idea, right? Or was this for something else? This is probably for something else.
Yeah, there was no Facebook group link.
This is kind of like this is the stuff that Jamie can capitalize on, because if people feel compelled to comment, that this would live on somewhere on his property, like a web property.
Yeah.
Because that would be perfect.
Yeah. I don't know if he's already got we've got the Facebook group for our specific course, which is part of it. But then he has a public Facebook group where people post comments and things. I don't know. There's just a whole other thing there. But she was just very positive about the whole thing. So I have my last scheduled meeting today at 11 o'clock. And then that takes care of everything. Although somebody just reached out to me this morning who in the group, he didn't specifically talk about the app, but I thought he'd vanished off the face of the earth, and now he's just back. So
from outer space?
What's that?
Back from outer space and just
well, he said I didn't read all his
face.
Yeah, I didn't read his full message. Something about it, he hasn't been on Facebook in quite some time. So
yeah, you felt you should have changed your login.
Yeah, I think people take hiatuses from Facebook every now and then for a mental break. But yeah, that was good. What else? I put a couple cards on Trello. One just to remind us to talk about things. One is about gift certificates, because I got my email.
Yes, I also mentioned that. Yeah.
And I read it. I'm like, oh yeah, we should. Can we actually do this? So I don't know. I don't remember. I think we talked about creating. Just
I'm surprised that we left it in our sequence.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was so far out it didn't register. So we can either change the sequence.
I say we change the sequence, and I don't mean to remove this. I would just go in. You know what? Let's just do it live. Why talk about this?
I think I was trying to remember where we landed. I think we said we could do 100% off promo codes, and you could just create.
No, so we were investigating it. You pointed me to a video. I watched the video. It wasn't the solution that would work for us. The point of that was being is you would need to create dynamic and semi-sequential coupons, but each one individual.
Yeah.
Because if you create a static coupon, basically that gets out in the wild and anyone can buy it for free.
Yeah. Well, if you limit it to one use, though.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But that means that each coupon has to be a different coupon
Yes.
code. So that was the challenge. And dynamically, you can't create that.
Right.
And what he was doing in the video is actually a much simpler version of it. What I'm thinking is, oh crap! Well, that I didn't want to do that.
I noticed yesterday when I was editing the video to put the blurring in for the screen recording, that in the previous day's video there was some stuff in a higher track that I hadn't deleted.
Yep.
So at some point, anyone who's watched the episode from 2 days ago, like all of a sudden at some random point, some music starts and then stops. And then another point, like a story time ad will pop onto the screen and then disappear.
Hey, so I'm all for subliminal messaging.
Yeah.
I'm all for subliminal messaging. So that's good. Let's change the, oh, sorry, that's not a campaign, it's an automation.
So I don't think this one's gone out yet to our 2 users.
Yeah.
I'm booked to get my second vaccine next week.
Are you? Good for you. Good for you. No adverse side effects from the first one, I'm hoping.
No. No.
You now belong to Mr. Gates.
What's that?
Oh, sorry, I didn't say anything. Let's see. Is this?
That's the last one. Email 6 story gift.
Yeah. Three weeks ago, you didn't have story time. Now you probably can't imagine bedtime without it. I can see a nervous laughter on the other side of the person reading this. I would say reach out to us and we'll email you a gift certificate with redemption code that you can share with your whomever you're gifting it to. How about that?
Sure. So we'll still, if somebody wants to gift it, we'll just do it manually that way.
Essentially.
Yeah.
We don't
have a volume issue, so
yeah, we don't have an avalanche of users right now.
The reason this is important also is because the second thing I wanted to talk about was show you Joanne's website and what I'm thinking in terms of what we can put on there, pending her agreement, of course.
We'll process the transaction and email you the gift certificate, and then apply the code. Let's kill this one for now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no point in doing a newsletter for one person who's not even using the app.
There's also not much we can say. It's like, so in our world right now, that I agree with you. So what was the second you want to share?
Sure. So this is, well, here, I'll go to her site first. So this is what her site looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So she's got this kind of, I don't know what you call this, hero block that you can scroll through for different highlights.
What's department 56?
I have no idea.
Hmm.
But they have this fancy logo for it. So it must be
something.
Something. It's the first time I saw this, I go like, what does this mean anything to anybody?
Mm-hmm. It felt like a Loblaw department code.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what it is in their system, but somehow they've tried to brand it into something.
Okay.
Then they have this sequence here, looking for the perfect gift. And then they don't have anything up here that's specific to books, but if I search books, then she has her, is this recordable?
Oh, dude, this is, no one's ever finding it if it's this deep.
No, I know. That's weird. Oh, here it is, recordable storybooks. So there's this kind of a page, but this is weird because there's no.
Oh, you can't buy it.
Yeah, so I got to ask her about that, how that works. Anyway, so basically, what I did, I just took some screenshots. So I said, if we can get one of these blocks on the Spotlight header, I just use graphics that I already have, but we could build a graphic specific space, and then the link could go to our site. Then on this, looking for the perfect gift, could we get a block in there? Same thing, like what design something that fits in that size. And then on her products list, like here's her recordable storybooks, have a section like this. So obviously, like this is the top prospect in terms of visibility. So anyway, I don't know if you want to.
Can you what's the website? It's hallmark.ca.
It's called awesomegifts.ca.
Awesomegifts.ca. Give me a sec. Awesomegifts.ca. So she's got Google Analytics. She's running MailChimp. She's got tagging done. ZERP Foundation. Oh.
So the other thing I noticed on here, like I just logged in on this strip. She still has Mother's Day gifts, Mother's Day cards. Like she's whatever. I mean, she's obviously got a lot of shit going on with running her stores and her business and getting back to being open and stuff. But like, Mother's Day was 2 events ago. There's been Father's Day since Mother's Day, and now there's Canada Day. Like so basically what I'm saying is I noticed her site is out of date badly.
Yeah. But she's also got she's also got a very interesting collection of things. So at the top you have home decor, which basically unfolds into a lot of keepsake, hallmark, and licensed. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
Elf on the Shelf. It's Elf on the Shelf. Elf on the Shelf is just 2 things.
Yeah.
One of them is sold out. Then you have food, British candy. Let's see.
Yeah, she does.
Man, where is she getting this from?
She imports it.
Flake. Oh, I remember Flake. Flake was a great chocolate bar. Holiday and occasions, collectibles. Interesting.
Anyway, so I'll I don't know, how do you want to figure out design for that deal?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, design stylistically has to fit into this world. I don't know who does it for her. I would love to be able to just dig into just those sections at the top
Yeah.
Which ones are the most visited?
Yeah.
Do you have an agency doing this for her?
I have no idea.
Yeah, she's got 125 followers on Instagram, which is actually, I'm very happy because that's not much more than I do. I got 116. Yay.
Yeah, but yours are all bots.
Oh. Ah, damn it. Okay, this is interesting. I'm just Hallmark Gold Crown. Very interesting.
So anyway, I'm gonna email her today.
Yep.
With some suggestions, and then in the meantime, we can come up with a design that could go in that spot.
Well, yeah. Let's first ask her if how doable and what format she needs to design in.
Yeah.
Because if somebody's doing it for her, there might be they might need a PNG file versus a JPEG.
Yeah.
They'll have the size specs so it fits properly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And you said her online business exploded, correct? If I recall you correctly.
Well, versus what it was pre-pandemic, like
yeah,
the online business kind of is what saved her ass through the closure of all her stores. Like most brick and mortar.
Interesting. That is very interesting. It's like it's what is called smorgasbord, or that crazy sandwich from Denmark where they basically put everything on rye bread.
Oh yeah.
Smorgasbord. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well, this can certainly drive traffic to the site.
Yeah, well, we'll see. The other thing I want to find out from her is, can we do an email blast to anyone who's bought? I don't know how segmented her list is, but anyone who's bought kids cards from, birth to 6 years old.
I'm not sure whether this would fit because we can technically make a product listing for her.
Yeah.
There's nothing stopping from creating a product listing. The description is taken from, let's say, a sales page, and then the button completes the purchase here. No.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about that. Like, do we want? No. It's going to muddy the waters if she's completing the purchase on her site versus.
No, and then the data is not going to flow for the onboarding.
And I don't want to duplicate a bunch. Like, it's better if it just redirects them to our sales page and they go through our cart, and then she gets reimbursed via the cookie as an affiliate.
Yeah, that would be better. That would be better. Yes.
I think that's the simplest.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're right.
Can I write that down?
Sorry, I don't recall. What did I just say? Something about me being right. Yes,
that's right.
So she licenses Hallmark then. Okay, good for her. Okay, shall we go through the flawless onboarding, or you don't feel like it right now?
Yeah, no, we can do that. How do you want to do that?
Well, I was thinking, since I think of it in slides, I just got this. I got the Google Slides going.
Yeah.
just so it lives in the in that folder. You can always pull it down as a PPT.
Okay.
And what I was thinking is, I don't know if my shortcut, see, that's the only thing I don't like. Okay, Control M works. Just thinking through the structure. So we're if we're on the same page, which I think we are, the thought is we sell this to companies first before building it.
Yeah, like I think you have to build something. Like you have to have a some kind of a framework of what it might be.
Yeah, and I think that would be easy because we don't have to make it a working framework. We just have to have like screens flipping and things happening.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got to figure out what that is, and then, but the point of it is, it's you're spending very limited time building something. You're just building a mock-up to be able to sell it.
But let's talk about what the app could do. So my thinking, I'm just going to spit it out on the page, and then we can add to it. So an onboarding process means an employee is joining a new company. They may be at 3 different levels, and so levels of employee. And levels of employee are so junior, and that is defined between 0 to, let's say, 5 years of experience. Maybe not even 5, maybe like something like 3 years of experience. And then you have mid-level, and this is let's say 3 to 7 years of experience. I'll tell you what I'm thinking here, and you can correct me. And then you have an expert, that is the 7+. I'm thinking that there's going to be a difference between somebody who's never worked for a corporation, and is joining it for the first time, or there's also a difference between somebody who's never switched companies and is doing it for the first time. So my thought is that those people will need substantially more hand-holding than you or I. Like if you are walking into a company right now, you know what to expect, know what to ask for, and know what you have to do.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you need to fill in that tax form on day 1. You know that you need to apply for medical benefits. You know that you need to talk to HR about setting up your payroll and making sure that everything works, right? You know that you need to talk to like some senior folks, get the lay of the land, who talks to who. But if you were junior, you wouldn't know any of that. You would be just showing up and expect like, so what do I do? Do I start working right now?
Yeah.
But then
does knowing what to expect versus not knowing what to, even if you expect it, you still have to go through those steps. So I'm just trying to think what's different in terms of what you feed them.
I apologize, viewers. I think knowing what to expect, it's just how much information you can show them on day 1.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. The steps are the same.
Okay.
I mean, the company needs to onboard a person. You don't want to assume that just because you've been at 3 other companies, you would understand what you need to do at this one. But it's just in day 1, like for example, I would expect all of the things that have to relate to what I'm supposed to do to be done.
Yeah. But I was kind of thinking about it yesterday with that there's like there's 2 different audiences here. One audience is the actual new person, and the other audience is the hiring manager, from the standpoint that there's a checklist of things that person needs to do before the person even shows up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So that, it's like, did you order their computer? Did you assign their desk? Did you get their extension? Did you, what
Absolutely.
security badge,
No, that's a great idea, especially if you're, oh, wow, that's actually an excellent idea, because imagine you're a manager walking, and I can relate to this, walking into a new company and you're expected to build a team.
Yeah.
Okay, you hired a person. Now what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where like the majority of the breakdowns for the employee starts with breakdowns for the hiring person.
yeah.
I mean, the thing that's just popping in my head now, thinking about this too, is like, you start getting some metrics and some trackability around how well people are executing against the onboarding process, both from an employee and the hiring manager perspective.
Yep. Yep. So then I'm thinking, and this is in no particular order, I'm just putting this on the page. Actually, you know what? That's a good. I don't know if I want to do this. So junior 0 to 4.
The other thing that's popping in my head when you're having these levels is a natural flow into additional training courses, right? So, people that are totally raw and junior, maybe there's some courses we could offer in terms of, how to communicate with people, how to, leadership kind of stuff. I don't know. And at different levels, there's different courses that either we create or the company already has, but that they get exposed to. I mean, this was always my thing. Like this was always a miss for me at new companies with new people that I tried to fill at Pressimo. Was the first 2 weeks somebody's new in a job is the height of their excitement and
Yep.
Willingness to do stuff. Unfortunately, that's usually met with the least amount of capability that they can do anything because they don't know anything yet. So people end up killing a lot of time in their first week or 2 weeks doing nothing, pushing pencils around on their desk, waiting to go home. But so, it's a perfect time to do some level of training that's aligned with the culture of the company.
That's yeah. What that's that would be like a step, right?
Yeah. Or a step or multiple steps. It's like
Well, I like these buckets, like office basics, that we could break it down into specific details.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a question mark. I'm thinking financial matters, everything from pay to bonuses, merits, merit increases, timelines, so values, something like this, values.
Under financial, would you put like stipends and things like that's often something that people don't know about at the beginning?
Stipends, allowances. Oh yeah, this can be another one. It's expense reporting. Um, time reporting. So in an agency, you need to report an agency or consulting firm, you need to report your time on a regular schedule.
Yeah.
Like at MRM, if you didn't log your time for the previous week, your email access would be cut off on the Wednesday next week.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I've never worked in an hourly situation when you bill a client by the hour, but apparently accounting and consulting are all the same. It's just how the systems work. You need to keep track of your hours to bill clients.
Yeah.
And for audit purposes too. Benefits, holiday requests, vacations.
I always found all those systems were so terrible.
Dreadful.
Yeah. Which is odd because it shouldn't be that difficult, but maybe that's another opportunity for somewhere down the road.
But that space is crowded. It's not like it's one or two. There's not even five.
Yeah. You would think though, with where we're at technologically, especially when it's work that's done on a computer.
Yep.
That the computer should be able to figure out what you're working on.
Yeah, it's actually a very sensitive subject because everyone's going to rebel against that, because as soon as you open your internet browser, it can log it as a personal time.
Yeah.
Versus research that you might be doing.
Yeah.
One sec. Yeah.
The strange thing though too with that whole system.
Yep.
Which is, and this is the example from when I ran client services, CPG client services, right? So when you start out, you're very inefficient at reporting things, doing stuff. So, and we were billing the clients like hours, like when they bought their categories, they got so many hours and so many credits. So for example, we build scorecards for Nestle, and we would bill them, I don't know, whatever it was, 5 hours a week for scorecards. Well, then I came in and I automated a bunch of it. So now we could deliver the same value, but in 1 hour.
Yep.
So who benefits from that efficiency, right? Like it goes back to like, people are paying you for a result. They're not paying you for how long it takes you to do it. Like the hours tracking is less for the client than it is for accounting to allocate expenses.
Yeah.
Appropriately on the P&L. So
correct.
Yeah. I mean, I used to, so I didn't have to track time when I was in product management, but everyone on the team did. And Edward, who was our scrum master, had to manage that. But it was like, I don't know, we were working on something for 5 clients. Like over the course of all the work that you do to nickel and dime yourself, if you just said we have 5 clients, so 20% of my time, of everyone's time is on each client for the purpose of allocating resources internally, you're probably not that far off versus all the time and effort you put into figuring out the exact hours and whatever. So
yeah,
it, to me, in my mind, it was always, a cost benefit between being super accurate, which was never super accurate anyway, because people are just guessing anyway at the end. But I don't know.
It's funny that every time you kind of mention one of these things,
yeah,
in my head, I have a equivalent thing come up. So it's certainly not unique.
Yeah.
I should have just copied this. What else? So we've covered access, login, emails, phones, printer access. I don't know if how if people going back to the office, if that's a thing to them.
Yeah.
Usually printer access nowadays is because everything's on the web. But I've had situations where I couldn't print because my printers were not set up, and I don't even know where the printers are.
Yeah.
And that goes to the next point is office basics, like where's the washroom, where are the printers, coat closet, like simple things like that.
Yeah.
Like where's the cafeteria, where do you eat around here?
Yeah.
What are the lunch breaks, like some of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we want to put buddy process or like we talked about.
This is next one.
Today. Yeah.
So then
buddies, yeah.
Like what's the structure? Like who rolls up into who? What's org charts are the biggest mystery. And I don't mean like you need to have all of the names on the page, but maybe at least your team.
Yeah.
Or maybe at least like the manager and the two up, and then who's your buddy and how long they've been there. And
were you around when I got in shit for the org charts?
No, why?
So Samantha was sending out the newsletter previously, and the org chart was always in the newsletter because that was one of the most commonly asked questions. People wanted to understand the org chart. So then the newsletter went away for a while, and then I resurrected it as part of the associate engagement committee.
Yep.
And so I started including the org chart again. Well, when they were launching Project Janice, I guess in the org chart, they had made all these changes, but they hadn't told anybody. And then I went and published it. Like they sent it to me, whoever it was, I forget the exact thing. And I published it because it was on,
what's Project Janice?
Guru. It was the launch of like the next generation tools project and stuff.
Oh yeah. The Janus. The two-faced anus.
Yeah. So, but all of a sudden people opened it and they're like, what the hell is this? I'm not in this group. Or like, and Miguel lost his shit. I don't know, everyone was mad at me. And I'm like, the problem is that there's it's a public document anyway, but this is fundamentally, I think, one of the problems when you manage things electronically. Yeah. Is that there isn't a working version that you can manipulate and do like what if scenarios with, and then a published version. Like there's just one version. So as soon as they made changes in it for finances purposes, well, all of a sudden that's the public version. So the cat was let out of the bag prematurely, I guess, because they didn't realize that. And then they tried to blame me for it. And I told them to fuck off.
Yeah, of course. Blame the messenger, because messenger is the person who made the changes and left it for public to see.
Exactly.
Of course.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Then we go applicable training. So whatever you can cram into those, like what do you need to do and when? This actually is very important, because outside of some of the things that you talked about, there's also that the IT security training that everyone always does.
Yeah. There's going to be diversity and inclusion training.
Yeah. All of the standard stuff. Yeah. Then how we do things, maybe some unspoken rules around the office, like the fact that I know that nowadays a lot of companies are presetting the length of a meeting to 45 minutes. Yeah. Or something of that nature. So then benefits, what they are, where to go, how to register for them, blah, blah, blah. Holiday vacation policies. Do you need to pre-book? How much are you allowed for? Like all of that stuff. How do you manage sick days? We talk through financial matters, company values, obviously. And again, this is in no particular order, because I'm sure the company value should be somewhere like high at the top. Time reporting, if applicable, IT help contacts and what they can help you with. This at Royal Bank, this was just a black hole. Yeah. There was a person that senior executives could call, and they would show up and fix everything on the spot. But the peons, you had to have a help desk ticket, and then they would ask you a couple of things, like they would say, which division you in?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I started today.
Yeah.
And they would give you acronyms, and he was like, oh, that's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
And I used to get emails every now and then from Loblaw's IT when I worked there. It was like, oh, we're following up on your ticket from, and it was like 18 months ago.
Yeah.
And you're like, close that ticket. Like it's forget about it. What about the ticket I logged last week?
Yeah. Well, that's another 18 months from now.
The best thing I ever did, I had leaf tickets and I gave them to our IT guy at Young and Steels.
Yep.
And then he owed me for life. So anytime I had an issue, I would log a ticket and I'd go over to him and say, here's my ticket number. And he'd say, I'll be right there.
That's the power.
And he was like, and then if I ever got another pair or anything lease related, I would throw him. Like that was the beauty of the old way the industry worked, is you'd get greased by the vendors, then you could take that grease and spread it around to the people you needed the grease.
Yeah, well, that's just smart. Sorry, I was looking for my notebook because I remember I had like a whole 2 pages of a book like this, just in acronyms when I joined the bank.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
I kept it close because I could never remember.
I bet.
It's like department name acronyms, project acronyms, tools, systems, and everyone. It seems like a badge of honor to speak only in acronyms.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. That's a pretty good list.
What about book time with?
Yeah, that's setting up meetings with people.
Subject list. So yeah, so that would be something like this, and I can see this being as to-do lists that get opened up from the time you start.
Yeah. I need to take a 2-minute break or a 1-minute break, however long it takes me to go to the loo. I'll be right back.
Okay, and I'm you know what? I'm just gonna get myself coffee, so I'm probably gonna be just a bit longer than you are.
Okay, I'm just gonna pause the recording then.
Okay.
Start recording.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna suggest we just stop recording for the purpose of the episode, and then we can separately record if you want to keep this for other purposes.
This new idea?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. Like I'm over it. I mean, that was, I felt such a rush last time that if anyone jumped on that idea, it would be just,
Yeah. No, I just mean it for the purpose, like there's no point in publishing like a hour-and-a-half long.
No. There is no.
So I'll just stop recording. Is that